Can you hear me? Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure I was visible and audible. As I was saying before, I'm starting a little bit early today just because I want to give more people time to come in. Last time I turned it on like with a minute to go, and we didn't give enough people the opportunity to pop in, so I'm mitigating that. Really, the voice is robotic? I like to have it a little bit normal, not so robotic, but it's all good. We're gonna have a really good show today, guys. Got something exciting to share, showcase. Keep an eye on this one, BlackBerry. I mean, this is kind of one of my patterns that I like to see where basically you have this huge move. I mean, this is a several year pattern, by the way. So I could kind of take a look at that. And you can see the steep decline was kind of broken in October of 24. So we're talking about, if you just draw on a trend line, let's go to, here. Oops. And go to weekly. Let's go to monthly, sorry. Okay. So you can kind of see that, there's this huge move up here. This is, I think, during the meme stock days. Came down, came back up. But if you get rid of these candles and just go along this line right here, what you really see is a trend line that was broken like somewhere around here, to be honest. I mean, let's see if we can draw it. So here, and again, trend lines aren't an exact science. There's always, I mean, you could almost say it did it here as well. And this is why, to be honest, okay, hedge funds, and the quants and all that stuff, I mean, you cannot use trend line drawing like completely super literally. You have to, like everything else, have a feel. But generally speaking, what I'm trying to show is that you can see this downtrend, and you can kind of see that I'm guesstimating this area right here, maybe a little curve fitting by me. But from around September of 24, okay, you're seeing a turn in this stuff. And I'm going to go back to the daily. And whoops, I'm going to make this 10 minutes. That's today. This is monthly. On a smaller graph, you can almost see it better. Excuse me. Year to date. I mean, you can kind of see what was at 6, had a big pullback. And I'm just saying that this price action is a price action that I like. So it's something that, and you can see in 10 months, this goes back to the trade ideas advantage of the custom data points. It's just starting again. Big move. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to, we're 2 minutes to start. But one of the things that I like to do with everyone is I kind of enjoy showcasing what I've been doing myself. By the way, the pullback I've had in the last like 2 days has been gigantic because NBIS, if you look at, and this is my biggest core holding, okay, and it has gone from 33, to 97, back to 31, and then back to 110. I mean, 20 points. I've been learning to digest moves that, I previously not digested in a single day, but it's part of the process of being able to, when you do better and you have more at stake and more movement, you learn to roll with the punches. That's a great question about the pullback. Is it over? No, nobody really knows, to be honest. That's impossible to know. We're not in the fortune-telling business. But Nebius reports earnings on 11/11. You got to like the numbers. If you're into numerology at all, numbers do have some power to them. So, this is my core holding, and I own this at, as you can see, at $26.26. So, and I've said this before, that a lot of times the big game in trading and investing is you want to, so going back to something that you've been taught versus reality. Hey, Trendline Surfer, great to see you here, and welcome to everyone. It's 9 a.m. I had the webinar going a little bit early because of last week. I was late to turning it on, so now we've got a good number of people, and I'm going to start by kind of showcasing a couple of things. First of all, as you guys know, that one of the things that I do to work on trade ideas and to help develop is I actively trade a small E-Trade account. And this is the current position that I'm holding in it right now. So you can just see what I'm doing here. Up 23 cents. JetBlue. I mean, JetBlue is, and I've said this before, I've heard that there's rumors of a takeover, and I absolutely have no idea if that's happening, and that's not any kind of investment advice. But there's a short float of 20% here. And remember, I'm not a fan of this company at all. Okay. But look at what Beyond did from when it went from 60 cents to 360. You're talking about several 100% in a few days on some news, and it's, dropped right back. But JetBlue is a pretty, different play in this aspect. Market, they're discounting everything. Got a lot of debt. They have some cash, $9 billion in revenues. But again, I'm just saying this is a trade. I got in at a decent price, 14.14, up a little bit. And just wanted to show everybody what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot about the money machine today, you guys. This is primarily a money machine session. So let me pop this in here. Whoops. Okay. So I've got the money machine running. And I've had it running, let's see, since 7:24, so for about an hour and a half today. And we're going to go through what I'm doing. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a setting that we set up that you can use. And this is one of my favorites. So bear with me for a second here. It's called the upside pullback pickup. And I'm putting the cloud link to this strategy into the chat here. And I'm going to discuss it with you. And I'm going to show you just, again, that there's a lot of stuff happening in the money machine. You are soon going to be able to customize also alert strategies into it. And we're going to do some things together. I'm going to show you what you can do. This is a very important setting right here. Automatically add manual positions. So what's happening here is that whatever you add a position, the money machine will take over the risk management of it. Okay, so that's a very important thing. And you can choose this exit positions on stop or not. I have that set so that during this thing, I'm going to exit out of everything and start over. And I'm going to show you what that's going to do. In fact, first, I'm going to walk through these, and I'm going to show you what makes this tech so powerful. So I call this strategy the upside pullback pickup. Okay, and if everyone And if you understand what I'm talking about here, let me put in a 5-minute chart so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here you got Ironwood Pharmaceuticals, had a huge run, but then it started to pull back, and this was my trigger right here. Okay, and I'm currently up $158, but I will lock in 130. So my downside, and I just locked it in. Okay, so it basically took profits all by itself. That's how this thing works. And it just got into something else. Okay, and I think the thing it got into was, let me see, this thing. I'm not a fan of these inverse ETFs, but I'm letting them play right now. Okay, so once again, notice big spike, pullback, we entered. Notice you have your stops in here. Big run up, pullback, you're buying right here. So what I really love about this strategy, you guys, oh, Snowman, thank you, is that momentum, like, understand please that when you got 6.36 relative volume on 37 million shares traded, there's momentum happening. Okay, and when there's this much momentum happening, we are trying to ride these big waves. Okay, but I'm trying not to get it right here. I'm trying to see if I can catch the pickup, because sometimes catching the pickup is the most profitable move. And I can even do a little bit like where I'm like, okay, let me give it a little more room because this thing's really pulled back quite a bit. And I'm just showcasing how you can work with the money machine. But the idea that I'm saying is that unlike just simply buying, see, like, again, I'm trying to do the same thing. Up, down, and it's come back and boom. And you can make little adjustments on your own if you want to. I mean, these are all, again, things that are completely up to you. But what I'm saying is that the programming's in there. It's doing it all. It's going to take everything over. You can see the percentages, how much you're up or down. And the key to this strategy is the position in range. Okay. So what's generating the buy and sell signal flags is when I get in. That's a question from Teddy. Teddy said, what is generating the buy and sell signal flag? So let me do something, guys. I'm going to stop the money machine. Okay, I'm going to hit stop, and it should theoretically exit everything. Boom. We just exited it all. I'm going to close this. We got $200 in, and I'm going to go to start money machine. I'm going to start from scratch so that everyone can see it here together. Okay, and let's look at the money machine settings. I've got 8. There's 3 candidates that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at very specific things, but what I want to showcase, and again, here's this PLTR. By the way, you can get rid of these inverse ETFs by putting filters for earnings per share, which I did not do in this particular case. But okay, ADA is ran up, pulled back, and here we are. The buy signal is that it met all of the criteria in the strategy that I gave you guys with the cloud link. So if you want the money machine, and it is available in alpha mode, right now, all you need is to be a premium subscriber. When we launch the version that will trade live for you, so this can, and I've already shown you guys, I've traded this live on my E-Trade account. So we've done an immense amount of testing for this technology and putting it through a lot of the rigors so that hopefully, again, it'll be much more potent and better for you. But the idea is that When this goes live, it's going to cost an additional $2,000 per year for you to trade live with it. We're looking for people who don't believe that that is a huge amount of money, and that's who this is geared toward, because there's risk in automated momentum trading. It's not always going to just be printing money for you, but you've got a really good shot here. And what I'm showcasing is the ability to get stocks, okay, that are not just only on highs because it's breaking out and you're buying the top, that you're working a strategy of catching momentum. And again, notice all the relative volume is in there. The volume is there. The potential is there. We aren't saying that it's for sure going to happen, but the potential is there. And here's again, I've traded around this one a couple of times, and here we have it. Okay. So let's just watch this a little bit, see what happens. And the key that I'm trying to showcase here is really twofold. So right now, the money machine is running in simulated mode. And what it's doing is it's already doing something very important for you that you're not going to do for yourself, which is it is trying lots of things. What can you do with this information? Okay, let's talk about that. Look at this huge move from 6 to here. I mean, I have to say that this is a kind of a thing that the fact that it brought this up to me, this is the kind of thing that makes me think, okay, maybe, potentially, depending on if more volume comes in, I might get into this, in my E-Trade account. This is another thing. This is using the money machine to scout and to spot. So that's another thing that what this technology is doing. It's trying more things out for you than you would try on your own, because it's an automated momentum system. Automated momentum trading is probably one of the trickier things that people can do, because every single one of these stocks is in play. And the idea is you can very easily manage your risk automatically with the money machine. And as I said before, in this particular type of environment, you're not looking for 5% or 6%. You're doing a lot of trial and error to try to catch the 30 or 40%. If everyone understands what I'm saying. And let's take a look at what some of the symbols are that we're looking at in the universe, okay? Let's take a look at this. See this? DXC, SUIG. I'm in this one. And by the way, I've been in it earlier, caught this incredible move all the way to the top. Sometimes, see what just happened? Again, not perfect, but this is what you're trying to do. And, there's just big percentage movers here. Ran up, pulled back. These are the type of entries that we believe are very conducive for many people to experiment with the automation of momentum-based trading, because you're still in the big names, but unlike before where really we were just hunting the breakout, here what you're doing is you're strategically getting the pullback. So let me again say, in this particular case, you are looking strategically to buy the pullback. And again, it's not necessarily perfect. This one, was a little bit higher than I like. I would have obviously preferred it more right here, but a lot of it has to do when you enter and exit and the rules that you have here. Okay. So I'm going to add the possibility of a few more positions, and let's take a look at here. Hold on a second. So what I want to show is something else. Okay, DCX. So I'm going to go to trade ticket and I'm going to go to MM1 and I'm going to buy 300 shares. And hopefully you're going to see what I'm going to show you here. Boom. Okay, perfect. So let's see, DCX. Notice that instantly now the money machine is managing this trade on its own. And I just adjusted the stop. And my downside is $66. So we ran up, pulled back, started to go higher, and here I am. So any trade that you add, the money machine will start managing it for you. Okay, so here's an example. 3 of these, I'm going to flatten. Just working with the system. And I'm going to see if it can get in there on its own. Okay, so I've exited a few of the ones that we're losing. And now I'm just, in wait mode for it's still running. Okay. But I just happen to have closed these out. So while we're kind of in wait mode, and as you can see, the market, had a nice turnaround. Notice my positive negative market pulse is off of highs, but it's still significantly higher than lower. Okay. So let me see if I can spend a little time right now answering your questions, because you should have a ton of them. So first of all, many of you are already in the alpha version, and you guys have sent us incredibly positive feedback. I mean, lots of you have had questions. There's been some difficulty, of course, with some people, but overall, it's been very positive. So what I want to know is, again, tell me what kind of questions you have. And it's okay if you don't have any questions either, because we have tons to talk about and discuss. But since you have me here, this is a great opportunity for me to help you see some things that you may not see. The high level of what I'm doing, okay, is I am putting on risk on things that are moving, and I'm trying to catch the rebound. These are rebound type plays. And when rebounds work, they are some of the best kinds of plays. Okay, Mal, how do you get started with the money machine? It's a great question. First of all, Mal, are you a premium subscriber? You obviously need to be a premium subscriber to have access to the money machine. So that's one. Snowman, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Holly trades as well. Okay, Mal, great. So the first thing that you need to do, I'm going to bring in our web page real quick. So do you have the alpha version? Have you downloaded that or not? So Ripman, and by the way, everyone else, I want to talk a little bit about their over the last day or so, we're working on a data issue. And let me explain where that data issue came from. Okay, Mal, so let me, this is a good segue. Bear with me for 1 minute. Anyone who wants the money machine, you need to go to our Trade Ideas download page from the homepage and click right here. This is the version that gives you access to the money machine. So that is step one. Once you do that, okay, once you do that, when you open Brokerage Plus, you will see this option, money machine and settings. And there's a whole thing that you can do, like how many positions, and we have videos on it, and support will also be able to help you. But that is the step one. So what you want to do is you want to log off of Trade Ideas. You want to go to the Download Now page. You want to get that alpha version and open it up and go to Brokerage Plus, and you will be able to start hitting it. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at number one, AXTR. Here's that trade that, bought, sold, bought again, and hopefully you can see what we're doing here and really catch a nice little piece of it potentially. So notice on this one, I'm going to switch this to here. This means that this is how much I've made or lost on it today, and this is what's happening right now. So some of these I've traded around it, and especially when I'm entering and exiting on these live streams, I'm trading around the positions and showcasing that you can do a lot of manual entry and exits. But remember, guys, in this alpha version, it's in sim mode. So this is where you should be really, really aggressive, okay? And just starting it, stopping it, starting it, stopping it, all of that. Aussie, we expect, and again, I'm not 100% sure, but we expect possibly next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, there's going to be a new alpha release. That is what we're shooting right now, and that will have your own price alerts, and lots of other little things, the support and resistance stuff that you see on the charts. Let me see if I can. By the way, notice this right here. I'm going to give you guys this window, the Super Scalper. It's a very, very good window to give you a heads up on lots of different things that are moving. Okay. Let me know if you see it. This one is one of these ones that's like, for me personally, it's an FYI window. Hey, Dan, FYI. Like, for example, I had in a previous money machine trade this morning, I bought this here that's the pullback strategy, sold it here, it's pulled back, and here it's coming again. Okay. We're starting to catch a little bit of a P&L pickup. We'll see what happens. So, Avandra, when you say I would like to see way more higher volume, now you know that, but first of all, again, this is trading 12 million. I'm not sure if you mean for money machine or things that you would get. All the volume stuff is totally customizable. So you can really, when I'm trading this stuff right here, I'm showcasing a style of smaller cap momentum based trading, because these are things that are moving, percentages like 14%. If you saw our AI had a trade in turn, okay, over the last couple of days, I mean, you're talking about from 8 to 17, 10 points in 2 days. Michelle G, I believe the support and resistance lines are all going to go live in the new version of the alpha, and to be honest, they should be on right now. Whenever I'm doing these demos, like I said, I'm always running a very developmental version, and things in those versions, things tend to pop on and off. Like this morning, for example, I had all the support and resistance lines in there, so I'm not sure exactly where they went, but they will be a part of the new alpha release that's going to be coming. Okay, so that's something that everyone should be pumped and looking forward to doing. Really, really good stuff. Okay, once again, 18 million, 136 relative volume. This is the kind of stuff where there is momentum here. Okay, and I'm not saying it's going to do anything, but I'm going to add this manually, okay, to my MM1 money machine. I'm going to buy 1,000 shares. And notice my stop instantly. I'm going to pull it a little bit right here, give it $50 worth. And what I'm showcasing here is a, okay, Ripman, I'll tell you exactly what that means in a second. So I'm demonstrating a very important part of the money machine that we added, which is this part right here, automatically add manual positions. So I'm in the money machine in account 1. It's running in automated mode. You can see what it's doing here. But if I add positions that I want to have the money machine manage, that's what it's doing. It's automatically managing them. Okay. So Ripman asked a question in the super scalper window. What does trading below in the description means? Great question. What it means is that it is trading below the bid price, and that can happen. You know, a lot of people think that the quotes are firm, but you know, I've been doing this since 1996, and there are different exchanges. You know, you've got NASDAQ, Archipelago, NYSE, a bunch of different ones. And sometimes what you can see is there's a quoted price, like let's say $2 by $2.01. But if it starts printing $2.02, that means it's trading above. Or it starts printing $1.99, it means it's trading below. And that happens. It doesn't happen a lot. But what it means is there's so much momentum to one side or the other that the quotes hadn't adjusted. And sometimes that gives you a heads up. Okay, so Mal, how do you get Super Scalper? I'm gonna give a very quick lesson on this. Save and share to cloud. I'm copying the link right here. Copy all, and I'm pasting this link. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to highlight this link that I pasted, and then you want to go File, and you want to go Load from Cloud. And this is already in there because you copied it. When you copied, hit Load, and then Super Scalper window comes in. I just made a copy of it. So that's how you do it. Our cloud links allow you to share with other Trade Idea subscribers. It allows our support team to have you, for example, send them something, send them your setup, your window, and all of a sudden they can load it up in 2 seconds, see what you did, if you made a mistake or not. And if you did, they can correct it, and then they can send you a corrected cloud link, and you just go File, Load from Cloud, and boom, you're done. So let's take a look at something. This one. So let's talk about it again. I want to just make sure everyone understands. I'm going to do 2 things to showcase something here. So this has had 186 million shares traded on a float of 25 million. I mean, as I've said before, the stock market does things that most people don't really perceive. But look at this percent versus, let's say, Tesla, which, by the way, I mean, this is big for Tesla, up 1.92%, but 1.92% versus 113%. And, you know, someone was mentioning why mess with this, or if you call it mess, whatever. Well, these stocks, you know, a stock that's trading at 65 cents, you can get into 10,000, 15,000 shares of this. You know, whereas with Tesla, you can probably afford to get into 5 shares, and so that is the difference and why a lot of people mess around with these stocks. It's a opportunity to ride momentum and things where you can leverage your money at the highest potential. Okay. So once again, notice you guys, I look at this stuff all the time. And here we are, remember this one I bought by myself. 134, but nothing's going on. But if you look at the percentages, this still looks pretty good. All in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is very tight. And notice what's happening is because you're not buying highs, you're not like, imagine if you had bought this price right here, the pullback to here is quite significant, right? Or if you bought this thing looking for the breakout, the pullback here is quite significant. So what we are doing is we are giving you, our end users, the opportunity to what we call dial in your entry levels to a much more tailored kind of environment with this upside pickup strategy. And this is going to be already in the money machine. When you guys download it, it should be in that version already. So I'm going to give you another window real quick. So this is the winners watcher. Again, you can do the same thing here. This is a streaming window, and this window, like if you look at FGNX, okay, you take a look at that right there. I'm going to go to the trade ticket, MM1 shares 600, and I'm going to buy now. And you can see what my plan is, potentially, what if this does a similar type of thing where, it breaks out? The volume hasn't gone crazy yet, but it's trading almost 3 times the relative volume on potentially 900,000. Market's really up strong today. I wonder if the Supreme Court ruled on the tariffs, possibly. But I'm not sure. Again, I'm not watching any of the news right now. So Michelle G, great question. Can Super Scalper get into the money machine? The answer is yes. Okay. I would have to stop it to kind of show you, but I almost want to say that, okay, Michelle asked a great question. Michelle G, can you use Super Scalper to get into the money machine? Yes, we just added the ability for you to trade these alerts. And I have it in here. I would have to stop this whole thing and do it. And I also, I'm not sure if the version that I'm testing has it, but the version that's going to be coming out next week will, and we will create a video lesson for everyone in terms of how to do it, how you can access it. But I want to make sure you understand that Super Scalper is kind of like Twitter on steroids. Okay, and what I mean by that is this is a stream and it's supposed to catch your attention. Like, look at this. I mean, from 1 to 1, I mean, this is 35% it moved, today from the bottom. From 1 to 135, that's 35%. But without any kind of filtering, I would not be using this just to get in, because it's a very noisy window. Okay, you can do something. Let me show you what you can do with it. However, you can configure. Okay, so I got this stuff here, and I can make this window very similar to my pickup window. Let me show you. Okay, so I go to position and range, and I'm going to put in 70 as the max and 30 as the min. Okay, now I'm going to select alerts. Okay, these are fine. We don't even need these. I don't think we need these for this. Block trades are good. Let me do one more. So this is also a very good exercise for everyone. Channel breakout, add alert. We call one running up now, add alert. And I'm going to give you guys this strategy, and this is how much has it gone up. It's gone up at least 5 cents. And I'm going to say crossed. So you can see, I mean, we have so much cross resistance. Okay. And let's say 1 hour. Okay. I'm going to call this new super scalper. Hey, Snowman, thank you for that heads up. Okay, so new super scalper. And let's take a look at what we got. Do you see what I'm doing here? Now this super scalper is basically almost one that you could use as an entry signal. I mean, with more refinement, I would suspect. But I'm going to go save and share to the cloud. And everybody that wants to see this, okay. So now, like, I'm looking at this, you know, and I've been watching it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the money machine, let it exit everything. I'm going to restart it from scratch. And let's take a look. Notice here, NFE came in here, and look at where it came in, right here. So do you see what I'm saying? I used my understanding of just filter concepts, okay? And I just created a very similar strategy to what I have in the money machine that's running, and it's the new super scalper. Notice. And what's kind of cool about the block trades is that, you know, it's not so much pattern, it's just telling you like, hey, like a block trade at the bid. Okay, let me show you something real quick too. Right click, configure, and we have something called quality. Where is it? Could be my version. Wait. Hold on. Huh. Bear with me for a second here. Scrolling through. I have a lot of custom filters for myself. Okay. I don't know where that column went. It has something to do with my version, I'm sure. But what I'm trying to say is that block trade at the bid means someone's hitting the bid, so there's a little bit of downward pressure, and that's how you can see that. Okay. Block trade in between the bid and ask means that it's trading in between, so it could be either way. And here you have running up quickly. But notice once again that you're still catching it in that mode where it is, you're not buying the high. You are looking for a type of entry signal where you're kind of like being, I want to say, a little bit more conservative Yeah. You're being more conservative because you're looking for these big breakout names, but you are not chasing them. So let me show you something else I'm going to do. I'm going to right click. I'm going to modify this window. And again, this is utilizing the power of trade ideas. Search alerts. Whoops. Search. So change. So you can really dial this in. Like if you want to really get it on a pullback, you can put a change, 2-minute and stuff like that. But what I want to do here is something else. I want to say change, open, percent, add filter. So this is kind of going to guarantee some momentum upside style. So let's take a look. So notice again, when things, now that I've added a change from the open minimum to positive, so since I'm kind of already set, I'm going long these. So what I'm going to, this window should start to slow down quite a bit, and I'm going to rename it. Super Scalper Upside. So what it's doing here is I would say that the way I just did it, this thing is ready for a money machine run test. And next week, I'm going to be demonstrating this to you guys, but let me give you a save and share to the cloud. Okay, so does everyone have access? Can you load the new Super Scalper Upside? And notice, please, that while before this window was very, very, very active, it has now become a lot calmer, okay? And part of it is because I put in that change from the open. Now what I can do is if I want a little bit more action, and this is something that everybody here should learn to do, you just modified some of these filters. You can even say just a little positive. Okay. So here, what again is interesting here is, see this right where it is? The opening price is somewhere around here. It's down for the day, okay, 4%, but not from the open. And the open is a key component because that's where you can participate, okay? So what I do here is I'm making these tiny little mods, and, that's what we're doing. And notice again, I'm doing a lot of trial and error here. I'm getting into these, getting out. Obviously, like as I showed you guys before, the original money machine that I started from 7:40 a.m. did incredibly well. It was up to close to 400. But when I do these demonstrations, this is not about profitability or I've showcased even live how much money this thing can make. We're running a good, bullish, long type of a situation. And, I'm in stocks that in theory have potential to go. You can see this is one of these types of situations where when you are set up like this, if you can really, if this was again, let me just say something so that everyone knows. Starting the money machine when we are doing this. So I start my live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's arguably the worst or the most difficult time that you're going to have when you start the money machine, because most of the momentum, it's right around 6. So let me just then answer a couple of questions also as we are talking about this. when is the most ideal time to start the money machine? The most ideal time to start the money machine is approximately 15 minutes after the open. Now you are going to catch some of these big momentum movers right there and hopefully get some. Then if you are kind of repositioning, you would almost stick shift to the pullback pickups. That's where, because there's a thing that happens with the algorithmic trading environment that we're in, where momentum starts, there's a big pullback, and then there's real legs, it starts again. So my suggestion to you is, you get up in the morning, if the market's negative, go slow in size. It's not slow, smaller in size. If the market's positive, that's when you take more chances. And again, I'm just kind of showcasing, like, when you start and stop, if you look at what I did, like right here, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in California, Pacific Coast time, is the most churny type of time frame for you to initiate the money machine. I would not be doing that. And again, like if you look at where you're at right now on some of these, this one, for example, if I was trading it, this is not the one that I would be getting into. Okay, this one possibly. But the problem here is that the majority of the moves already taken place. So even in these types of situations, you're getting into what I call a kind of significant headwind. But what I wanted to showcase is that you can set these up in a way where, instead of chasing tops, you can really strategically be trying to buy some, pullbacks. And let's do that again. Because I'm in all of these already, I don't have room for it, so I have to do it manually. So I'm going to do that right now. And here we are. Okay. Here it is. And notice my risk is automatically adjusted. And what I'm simply doing is I'm fishing. I'm throwing lines in and I'm trying to see, can I find something that will run like this thing? I mean, look at this move. And this was from our AI signal 2 days ago. Okay, let me see if I'm going to bring this up. So this is as we head towards the last 10 minutes, I want to showcase a couple of things that we've done with our AI channel, and hopefully, again, you guys will be able to appreciate it. Okay. So first of all, these trades, you can trade with the money machine. Let me come over here. I'm going to stop it. Money machine settings. So this is the upside pickup pullback, but notice that Holly, today's Holly signals. Okay. Save profile and start. Okay. So what did we have today for our AI? It was very active. Okay, there's lots of stuff going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 trades. One of the things that we added is our re-entry price. So because we have a tight stop on these, and the stop is right around 3%. So if you take a look at, I'm going to go to the 2-minute chart right here. Okay. So notice this was the initial signal, hit right here on the stop, but then you had the re-entry at, let me move this over so you can all see it a little better. Okay. So you had the re-entry at 25.50, that's right here, and it has gone up, pulled back to the signal one more time, and has just continued to run. Okay, fantastic re-entry. And this one, because it's a little bit more of a expensive stock, it's a point play versus just a percentage play, but you can see what's going on. I mean, this is what our AI is doing. Yeti. So let me minimize this so, just so you guys can see the entry was right here, pulled back, ran up, pulled back, and this happens. But then look at this move. This is about, you can't be a fortune teller. That's not what we are. We're not some sort of, hold on one second. So William, this is actually really good here. William asked the question. You guys, there was a scam email going out where somehow somebody got into our campaigning technology. We've mitigated all of that, but of course, we would never ever ask you to send us any money to a Bitcoin wallet. That is just ludicrous. We would never do that. And in fact, I want to show you guys something very important. I mean, many of you are customers already, but these scams are out there all the time. And let me just show you guys something. Yeah. All right, protect your money. We put this up here because these scams are just so common nowadays. Trade ID is a subscription software only. We never ask you to deposit funds, transfer money, or let anyone trade on your behalf. If someone does, it's a scam. Okay. So please know we would never ever do that. That was a scam, and we've mitigated it. But you would, if we ever do crypto, our subscribers would know first, and we are moving in that direction slowly. But that's not something that we're focusing on. We're focusing more on the AI entry and exits for advanced stock trading. And I think, again, as you guys can see, we do really believe that we are top of the line here. So this is an interesting one. Again, notice huge move, signal, pulled back below the stop. We're still below the stop. It had a re-entry at 12.17, but even that could, so this is what happened. It got stopped, re-entered, but it can get stopped again. But if you look at where it is right now, okay, so this is an interesting example of how you are at this position where you're basically almost at zero risk. You can buy a stock like this, okay, PLTR, right here, and your stop would be like 58, like right. I mean, could be 47. It just depends on your risk tolerance. But this is one of my kind of favorite setups. I'm not getting into this one, but just sharing that this is what the AI is highlighting. Okay. So today, a little bit more of expensive names and HRT change from the entry 3%. Our AI studies big moves like turn and the other ones that have taken place. It studies them every night, and this is the competitive advantage we bring to the table to our subscribers. So Michelle G, you can shoot our support an email, and I'm sure somebody can help you. The Money Machine, remember, is alpha version, so there's like some things that are being worked on. I'm certain if you send an email to support, somebody will be able to help you get all of that dialed in. Yeah. But once again, remember alpha version, and it's only in sim. Ripman, shoot about the tradeway. So a good question, Ripman. Right now, the what we have the most on in terms of the best way you can do the trade wave. Let me just. So first of all, what is the trade wave? It's our moving average envelope system, and it adjusts to the time frame. So if I do 10-minute, now you're seeing buy signal 10-minute. This was a sell signal. Every chart can have this. Sell signal, buy signal. Again, it's not perfect, but they are there and they do give good signals. You can also go to new Market Explorer, right click, strategies, go to Trade Wave, and you got 3 options here. We are moving these slowly into a more of an alert environment, Ripman. So right now, again, you know, if you go to TradeWave, just I want to make sure you guys understand this. You can click here, and you can change some of this. Are you aware of that? Okay. So what I want to make sure you see is TradeWave, volume, 10 SMA, 130, VWAP. I mean, this is for the indicator manager, but for the trade wave, which I have selected, type, EMA, SMA, fast, color. So you can modify all of that on your own. But we are working to make this more robust, let's say. The technology is tight, but more robust. Okay, we're at the top of the hour. We have 3 minutes left, and what I want to do is I want to leave it up for your Q&A. You know, here, by the way, we popped into a money machine that's trading Holly trades, and you know, quick little pickup. And notice that the money machine is managing all of these with the appropriate risk management. Okay. So let's go. Any other questions? Remember, the new version of the Money Machine Alpha is going to be coming, I believe, next week. Do not forget that you can always access Barry's channel, where Pepe is actively involved, and our channel bar. And I want to just quickly go through that for you guys. Our channel bar is a piece of tech that allows you to just kind of peruse through setups. You know, people were talking about volume, and here I've got the S&P. Okay. And you can just quickly see which of the S&P stocks are really making a move. Southwest Airlines. Maybe they did something with the flights. I don't know. But Southwest, that's a nice. So like as you guys saw, I played this kind of this play with JetBlue. I don't know where it is. Take a look real quick. Yeah. So similar price pattern. But what I'm saying is that on S&P 500, you can see what's moving. Okay. And you don't have to configure everything. There's a MAGA channel for stocks that are conservative, kind of Trump-related sort of stuff. Steel. There's some overlap. Apple, Rumble, Tesla, Hertz. Okay. Ford. It's making a big move off of bottoms. Okay, SKM613. How do you adjust the trade wave settings? So you go right here to trade wave. Oops, sorry, I turned it off. Trade wave. And you go right here on this thing. And you can just change the numbers. So there's a little dial right here. This is your settings. Once you have that on, you can adjust that very easily. All right, you guys, we are at the top of the hour. Another live stream has concluded. I've given you guys lots of windows. An upgrade is coming very soon. And I want to say thank you to everyone. Had a really nice group today. Great questions. We're continuing to work on the cutting edge of momentum-based trading. And we hope that you let your friends know that Trade Ideas is the best when it comes to finding things that are moving and capturing those movements in your P&L. So Amandra, the trailing stops in the money machine are automatic. So they're, if you go to stop and exit settings, there's all sorts of trailing stops right here. See? And if you have specific questions, just shoot our support a question. They'll be more than happy to answer it for you. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Lots of love, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.